Thank you, James. Now, joining me, we have two lovely people. CTA's Kinsey, Fabrizio, Senior Vice President of Membership. She told me I could say it like that. Sales and Marketing. And then we have CTA's Vice President and Acting Show Director, John T. Kelley. Thank you both for coming out here to the studio and the stage.
You.
This is awesome. CES bringing everyone back. So we're going to start with you, Kinsey. This year, I heard you were all expecting attendees from maybe approximately 150 countries from around the world, 3,200 companies exhibiting on the show floor. So what has it felt like for you having this opportunity to really kind of rebuild this sense of community? And there's been a lot of attendees that have not even seen each other, even probably people in your circles that you haven't seen for a few years. How does it feel?
It's been amazing. The reunion, the connections that CES is creating, the enthusiasm is just so big, and we're feeling it across the show floor. I mean, we're seeing people excited to see each other, excited to show products in person, excited to hear content in person, and just to be together and reconnect and have fun and innovate.
Yeah, how about you, John? How do you feel about this?
You know, for me, it's the past couple of days, I've seen so many people hugging. I've seen many people taking selfies. I've heard a lot of people say, oh my God, you're so much taller in person. Because
that happens to me a lot, actually.
I can tell.
That's crazy.
But I do think it's, as Kinsey mentioned, it's this reconnection. I think, the past couple of years for a lot of people have been very tough. There's been a lot of isolation. We haven't had a lot of that face-to-face interactions. There's no better place to do that than CES. And so CES this year, there's a lot of reconnecting happening. And it's, people really enjoy face-to-face. And they like being able to see the products, touch the products. CES is ultimately a sensory experience. And part of that is that connection between people that I think might have been lost the last couple of years.
My colleague, Steve Koenig, called it the Great Reconnection. I have to give Steve credit for that. The Great Reconnection at CES. And I really think we're feeling that.
Yeah, and actually somebody this morning, I was at a meeting this morning, and someone mentioned that this is the real social network, right? Like the social network here at CES live and in person.
I
mean, if you think about it, what has been a larger get-together, maybe Super Bowl weekend, but other than that, CES has got to be right up there at the top with just how many people, and also from a standpoint of just being worldwide and global. Nothing's going to top that.
Especially having this many people from around the world all converging in one place. There's nothing like it.
So cool. So, John, for you, what was the most exciting part of CES for you?
Well, it's seeing the innovation on display on the show floor. It's always exciting, but I want to say it again, it's that reconnecting. For myself personally, prior to my current role, I worked with a lot of our international attendees. A lot of people I haven't seen in a couple of years. Kinsey and I were in a meeting this morning where I saw a lot of old friends I haven't seen in a couple of years. So I'm walking away from the show I'm in awe of the innovation, but my heart is also full because I've seen so many old friends. So to me, that's the most special part about CES this year.
Kinsey?
Well, I agree with John. Seeing everyone is just great. But the energy on the show floor, it's been magic. And hitting the show floor, seeing companies, seeing what they're debuting, and seeing their excitement as they talk to attendees walking by, that's been really, really cool and just exciting to see.
And I think, to kind of piggyback on that, it's also just the pace at which innovation has progressed the past couple of years. I mean, it's amazing. If you think about where we were a couple of years ago, say 2020, CES 2020, which for a lot of people, that was the last CES they attended in person. And where we are today, we have this explosive automobile category, right? This transportation mobility category with almost 300 companies. We have new categories such as Metaverse and Web3, things that didn't even exist at CES in 2020. So that in itself has been pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, just being out on the show floor, you see this time period of that, like let's say 2.5, 3 year period. I think that if we had CES every year consecutively and we were all coming, there would be more of an iterative move from some of these companies, but you saw a lot of companies make big jumps with how they perceive something. Like there's a Lenovo Yoga laptop, and they've always had these folding laptops for like 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden we saw one that feels like this could be a true folding laptop for the future. That doesn't necessarily happen if we're just kind of going, you see a lot of innovation in that from that standpoint. Kinsey, what product category or area? You talk about the metaverse, you talk about Web3, but was there any product category specifically for you that excites you the most that you might have seen at the show?
Well, there's a couple. John mentioned mobility and vehicle tech. That is so exciting. And the West Hall is just beautiful. It's vibrant. There's so much going on from land in terms of cars and, tractors, Caterpillar, John Deere, these amazing companies showing up at CES with their autonomous and electric innovations. air. We have a flying eVTOL demo in West Plaza, Rise Aerospace. It is fantastic. Everybody should get out and see it. And then C, too. So we have marine tech companies on the show floor. Brunswick is there, Candela, Volvo Penta, and they're showing the latest and greatest in marine technology. So mobility has been exciting for me to see. Also digital health. There are some amazing innovations in North Hall in digital health. Neurologic is one that comes to mind. They're doing an AI scan with a televisit. So when you're on your phone is doing an image analyzer on you and sending that information to the doctor and not just relying on what you are saying. That's truly innovative. Abbott, Y Things, Nuheara, there's so many great companies on the show floor.
Sprinkle all those names out
Oh
there, right?
my gosh, there's so many. The health category, it's just grown tremendously, and it's really, really shining this year at CES.
John, I'm going to throw you the same question. I was going to skip you, but I thought, okay, I'll be nice. What product categories are you really excited about this year?
So it's not one category, but it's the startup area, Eureka Park,
yes,
at the Venetian. So we have about over 1,000 startups there, many of them coming from around the world. And you see all types of products. Like, for instance, yesterday I saw a hydrogen-powered car, flying car. Not only is it hydrogen-powered, but it flies. So I saw that over there, and then I saw apps to help, protect your personal security. And you see all sorts of cool, unique products. And for me, it's just walking the aisles of Eureka Park. It's very vibrant. There's a lot of activity over there. And it's just that you can feel that spirit of innovation. And it's people that come to CES with an idea and a dream, and this is their idea. This is their opportunity to showcase that to the world. So for me, it's not one product area itself, but it's one dedicated area at the show floor, and that's Eureka Park for startups.
Yeah, I've talked about that multiple times to people, even amongst my tech reviewer peers, that sometimes they forget about that spirit, that kind of the essence of what CES is. And I think we have these amazing established players that have been in the market for generations, but you go to Eureka Park and you see that one person who basically might have spent 3 or 4 years saving up for this moment and comes up with this genius idea that we've never seen before, and it taps something into something different in our head, and that's what it's all about. And they're here just as happy as everyone else. I love that part about Eureka Park.
Right,
so that spirit, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's another big part of it. Kinsey, so we talked about people navigating around the show floor.
Yeah.
We know that in-person attendees still have one more day left to hang out here at CES. What are some of the things that maybe they still have to look forward to?
Well, I'm going to kind of tag on to Eureka Park because Ukraine, tag
you're in.
So Ukraine Tech has a pavilion in Eureka Park, and it's really moving to go down and talk with the companies in that pavilion. They have some great emergency response, communication products. I can't talk.
It's been a long day.
Communication products down there. They have some really cool sustainable solutions, and it's just amazing to see their spirit and energy, and to have Ukraine show up at CES. That's wonderful. So I think Eureka Park, definitely a place to go visit, but also there's a lot of very cool outside space at CES. So Central Plaza has some really exciting exhibitors showcasing a lot of cool innovation, and West Plaza as well. So I think, if you're still here, get around to those areas. And then also, it's always a good time to kind of plan out any parts of the show floor that you didn't get a chance to go to. I like to use the last day to do that. So I really think that that's a good strategy.
I mean, while I'm up here and bouncing around the floor, I literally use the last 2 hours. I go by myself and I just explore and just talk to people, and it's the greatest thing. It's actually almost zen-like.
It is.
But it's fun. It's fun. So thank you so much for both of you for coming out here and just sharing and really helping us put together a show like this that we can all be a part of. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you.